Hi, I'm Candace. I'm the Communications Director for the Institute of Water and Environment. The Sea Level Solutions Center, housed within the Institute of Water and Environment, hosts citizen science events once or twice a year during the king tide, which is the highest of the high tides. What we do is bring people together, like students and residents, scientists, to measure flooding in urban areas in Miami, Florida. The Sea Level Solutions Center is an interdisciplinary research center that brings together architects, economists, researchers and natural scientists and business leaders to combat and address climate change and sea level rise. We do this for local issues, national issues, and international issues related to climate change. One of our biggest events are citizen science events, where we host Sea Level Solutions Day, where we asked residents and scientists and everybody that wants to get involved to get out there with us and do some of this measuring, get dirty, and grab all of this data for us so that we can put it together into a database that we will then use to develop solutions for sea level rise in urban areas in Miami.
Hi, my name is Brad, Program Manager with the FIU Institute of Water and Environment, and I'm here to help explain in a how-to video how to use the citizen science sampling kits that we provide for king tide flooding events with the Sea Level Solutions Center. So this year's Sea Level Solutions Day is going to be November 4th, 2017, and we're going to be taking citizens out, students, teachers, residents, and FIU scientists and researchers out into local communities to conduct citizen science measurements of king tide flooding, and we're going to be distributing kits that will help provide all of the tools and information that you'll need to conduct the sampling, and we're here to explain how to do that step by step. So the first thing you're going to do is check inside your citizen science kit that we provide for an information packet on how to download the app and register, sign up for the king tide sampling. It will provide a form for you that's going to have all of the information that you're going to need to input, and it will give further instructions. And the first thing that we're going to have you do is go out in teams to different sites that we have located on a map also inside your kit, and that's going to tell you step by step what you need to do to conduct the sampling. So each citizen science team is going to need at least two people, one person to conduct the actual measurements and the other to input the data into the phone through the app and take pictures throughout the process. One collecting the data. First thing you want to do is put on your gloves. All right, so you want to have your gloves because you are going to be getting wet. You're also definitely going to want to have high boots. Rain boots, rubber boots are best because some of these events can have 2.5 feet of flooding, and so you will get wet, and that's another reason why you want the gloves, because you're going to be using your hands to actually conduct the measurement. So the first tool you're going to be using in your citizen science kit is the tape measure, and you're going to be recording the flood depth. So you're going to take your tape measure and extend it so that the zero is facing down, and you're going to put it in the centermost part of the flood where it's deepest and record the depth in inches. And then you're also going to want to have the second person take a photo of that depth close up so that we can see where the water line is and verify that that's how deep the flood is. So the next step is to measure the salinity and see if there is any salt content in the water in the flood. You're going to take your refractometer and your pipette, which is an eyedropper. You're going to stick your pipette into the flood below the surface and squeeze so that you can draw some water in. And then you're going to flip open the lens on the refractometer and drop some of that water onto the tip, close the lens again, and then look through the eyepiece. And when you look through the eyepiece, you should see a little gauge, and you're going to look on the right side for parts per thousand salinity. It should be a number somewhere between 0 and 30, 30 being salty bay water and 0 being fresh water. So look for where the dark blue line and the light blue line meet and record that number again between 0 and 30. You also want to take a picture, if you can, with your phone of the reading that the refractometer is getting, and you want to make sure that there is enough light coming through here so that you can see the actual reading in the eyepiece. When you're done, clean off the refractometer with your cloth. Next, you're going to be taking a sample of the flood with a bottle that is included in your citizen science kit. So you want to take your sampling cup and stick it upside down and put it directly into the water so the water is up to your wrist but not going above your glove, into your glove. And then you want to tilt it sideways. We don't want to collect any of the debris and stuff floating at the surface. So you want to stick it below the surface, tilt it sideways, let the bubbles come out, and then tilt it up so that you can then remove it, cap it, and put it back into your citizen science kit. Then also take a photo of the bottle with the label on it that verifies that that's the sample from that place and time. So finally, you want to make sure that you have taken enough photos of the surrounding area so that we get a sense of context, and if we go back to repeat a measurement there, we can find exactly where you sampled from and repeat that measurement and get good information. So you want to look for landmarks that will stand out, a stop sign or a lamp post, and if you can, measure how far away your sampling site was from that location. So you also want to take a close-up shot of the flood as well as a zoomed out photo to give that context and background for where you took the sample. Make sure that you have taken all of the data that the app asks for. If there are any other notes that you want to make about the location or a description of the flood, feel free to do that as well. You can take a short video, but please no more than 2 to 3 seconds if the flood is bubbling or moving, and that will help us get a sense of where it actually is. If it's located near a storm drain, these are places where we want to get information about the flood. And then finally, when you're all done, remove your gloves. And we also have included hand sanitizers so that you can clean up at the end, and then you're all set.